Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
We're back in our lovely loft.
Beautiful.
It's so nice in here, isn't it?
It's really nice.
We wanted to talk to you today about 10 houses, 10 brands, whatever you want to call them, that we love, that we think you should explore.
Yes.
Because they have some absolutely incredible stuff.
This is quite.
And they tick a lot of boxes
for
us. Yeah. This is quite philosophical in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going into another realm. It's
yeah. We like if we had to narrow it down to there's lots of houses we love, and if you've seen our channel before, you've seen us rave about a few things, but we tried to narrow it down to 10 fragrance houses, and we were just spoken just before this video. What are our criteria for the houses which you should try?
Yeah.
One.
It's a good list.
It's got to smell good.
Yeah.
It's got to smell good. And above all else, you've got to trust your nose. I mean, you're watching this video because you're going by our noses, but first and foremost, it has to smell good.
Yeah.
And then we are looking for something which is creative, original, and interesting.
I mean, that's the big thing, isn't it? Something that actually pushes some boundaries.
So there are certainly no clone houses amongst this. There are some houses which maybe look to the past and take inspiration and try to do their own version of it, but I think everybody is doing something original and something which will make you stand out for the crowd.
Yeah.
These are not houses which help you blend in and make you
absolutely
part of everything else. These are to make you stand out.
And why do you want to smell like every other person on the high street?
Again, no.
It's art in a bottle, isn't it? And it should be interesting.
And the third thing is that these are good value for money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that doesn't necessarily mean cheap.
No.
Because we've got some houses here which the bottles cost a lot.
Yeah.
But all of these houses, I think, what we've gone for are houses where your money goes on the juice in the bottle, not on the bottle or the brand name or the Swarovski crystal cap.
Yeah, mentioning their names.
And
when we say the juice in the bottle, it's the process that gets the juice into the bottle as well, isn't it? Like a perfumer that's going out and harvesting their own ingredients and taking a couple of years on a composition to fine-tune every detail. That's perfumery for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of these, especially these bottles we've got here, some of them are more expensive than others, but when you spray them, you think, I can see why that is that price. That's reasonable.
Absolutely.
I can imagine it being more.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting, isn't it? So
number one is a house we love. We've mentioned about a few things from this house. This is 160 Tuesdays, and the one I've chosen here is called Maxed Out. Now we were very lucky to have Sarah McCartney here to do a video with us. I think 160 Tuesdays is niche.
Yeah.
If you had to sum up niche, I mean, it's 460 Tuesdays.
Creative freedom.
Very early on when I got into fragrance, I saw the names and I thought, these are so different, these are so unusual. Yeah. And then I smelt the fragrances, and actually I only own 3. I own Ealing Green, Shazam and Maxed Out. Yeah. And they are all so different.
Yeah.
I couldn't say, it's not like all our fragrances smell the same. They are all different, except that all of our fragrances have personality,
huge personality,
and beauty and skill,
and flexibility as well. This is what I love about Sarah McCartney, is really that she can turn her hand. It's so beautiful. That sort of dirty.
So this is Maxed Out. This is a collaboration with Maximilian Huesler, and this is from his Naughty Days. And this is what I love about this. This is a cumin bomb, but it's handled so well. Yeah. Cumin, pepper. Oh,
it's brilliant. And there's
rum,
there's lots of booziness going on in there as well.
It's so good. This
absolutely
is a great night out fragrance. Oh, it's so good.
And Sarah McCartney can turn her hand to anything. I think and I've spoken to her before. And she's made retro vintage perfumes for special events. Yeah.
Ethereal florals, big punchy orientals.
I mean, this is 21st century all the way, isn't it?
That is so good. This lasts really well. I love this fragrance. And the other thing, the other really good thing about it, if you're getting into fragrance, it's a great one to try because she does lots of different sizes. Yeah. She does samples. She does 30ml, 50ml, 100ml. I think she also does like 8 or 9ml or something like that. So
the little travel bottles.
You don't need to worry about, do I need to spend a gajillion pounds on a 100ml bottle. You don't. You can explore them. You can get taster range. Right.
And even the 100ml bottles are good value.
Amazing. We've got to move on because we've got to get.
We've got too many to get through here.
Right.
I wish you could see what I can see here because this is like a shopping list.
It's really exciting. And next one is a house that I love.
You've championed this.
I get really excited, and when they released their new list of fragrances, whenever it was, last September, October, I nearly wet myself. This is Areej Le Doré. The one I've got here is Malik Al Taif. When I first smelt Ottoman Empire by Areej Le Doré, I was just...
Blows your mind.
I smelt it, I thought I have no benchmark for this. The quality of the ingredients is so high. So he's Russian Adam, is someone who used to work for Phil Oud, who used to distill a lot of ingredients. Now distills lots of his ingredients for Areej Le Doré. So the quality is just absolutely insane and through the roof. This is Malik Al Taif, which is 40% pure rose. Even if you,
it's the real deal.
I mean, even if you decide that this sort of perfumery is not for you, I think you need to try it to at least dismiss it.
Yeah.
Because it's so extraordinary. The caps get really tight.
It wants to protect the juice. That's all.
Yeah.
You won't find a rose better than that in any perfumery today. I don't.
But it's got real musk in it as well. It's got layers of oud. It's just. If anybody with a real love of perfumery, even if these are expensive,
they are expensive, but
I mean, they're absolutely worth it. I mean, they're definitely worth. Yeah, having bought lots of different bottles, there are some bottles which I own when I think, oh, I know I kind of paid more than that's worth. This is not the case, even though it costs a lot. It is definitely worth it. A little goes a long way. They are special occasion scents. They smell incredibly expensive. They are really.
And we want to support brands like this. We want to support perfumers that are going out there and working their asses off to make beautiful stuff and to be bold and original.
This is purely.
I would happily pay a bit more money to help.
This is all about the juice. This is all about the smell. It is expensive, but it's all about the smell.
No crystals inside.
Let's move to another house, and this next house is almost, I would say, the benchmark by which I judge the prices of other fragrances. Sometimes you smell something and you think, well, this is 2 or 3 times the price of an Andy Tower fragrance. So how can you justify that?
Because the quality is not to be bettered. I think.
The one we've got here is not Le Doré, which is
we both own
one of the
love,
greatest
don't we?
fragrances ever made. This is Lone Star Memories, which is an enigmatic, bizarre, incredible, beautiful.
Oops, that's probably expensive. But there's no reference point for that. I found that so bold and new the first time.
All of them. I mean, Rose Chypre is amazing.
And and recently I don't know if we did a video. I can't remember on the oud fragrance.
Yeah, Oud is amazing.
Absolutely
Les
incredible.
Années Vincent was incredible.
And he's got his other range of Tower Flash.
Yes. Yeah,
with
Vanilla
Rose,
all of those. But these,
very
Le Doré is £100 in the UK for 50ml, which is kind of unbelievable.
I would happily pay.
When you look at the price of Tom Ford and things like that, they're so good. They're unbelievably high quality. They are what niche perfumery is all about. Andy Tower.
And he's got a concept, and he's got the whole line of his fragrances. All with a picture in mind, and the thing we've talked about before is this travelling, and it takes your mind to some far distant land. These do that, and they're unashamedly sort of fantastic in the literal sense of the word.
Amazing. Now, amongst our next choices, what we've got is interesting, and I think the way that the face of perfumery has changed, that it's not always the case that the great perfumers were trained in Grasse and they were born into a family of perfumers.
No.
There are some of the greatest perfumers now are self-taught, which is mind-boggling, and this is very much true of the next one, which is Bogue. The bottle we've got here is Joe's bottle of Mai, and the perfumer, the brains, nose and heart behind Bogue is Antonio Gardoni. I can never say his name for some reason.
There's that guy on YouTube that I can't remember his name. He always corrects me. Please fix us if we got it wrong. We're sorry.
But he is an architect by trade, and yet he makes the most extraordinary fragrances. They are so complex. This is one which has a nod to the past.
I think it's very vintage in its sense, but somehow it doesn't smell dated either.
I was really upset that I missed out on Bello, which is the newest one, which is...
I like to smell that.
Jesus Christ. I mean, this is
good stuff, isn't it?
And this is just... Even if you... Oh, that's so good. Even if you you don't end up buying bottles from him, and that's why I'm saying these are fragrances, as a fragrance lover, you need to try these houses. Because
you're missing out if you don't.
You may decide this is not for me to wear, but you need to understand what's happening. So you must try this.
It gives you reference points as well. I think this is something we found over the years, is that just smelling stuff gives you reference points, and everything you smell post smelling something like this, it gives you ideas of this is what a jasmine is like. This is what ylang ylang can be. Oh, oak moss smells like this in that, but in this it smells like that. It widens your palette of smells.
And that's why
you appreciate the art form even more. Really try.
Right, another house from a perfumer who is self-taught, so she studied history of art. Quite new to us. Actually, this house. This is Francesca Bianchi. The one I've got is under my skin. So you saw we reviewed some samples which I bought from her. They gave us, if you buy the sample pack, they then she gives you a discount of the bottle. So I bought under my skin.
Fantastic idea, by the way.
And this is really special. Again, there's this
pure sex in a bottle. Would you say?
Her whole line is so overtly sexual.
Yeah. They really are, aren't they?
Actually, and this is one you don't do it justice off the cap, because to wear it, and I'm really surprised that I received quite a few compliments when I wore this. Not that for me, perfumery is all about that, but
oh my God, that's the smell of a human being.
Yeah,
that's the smell of burying. I've said it before, burying your neck in your lover's neck or armpit, or even further south.
But I think quite a bit. But
honeyed animal.
But her fragrances are so complex, and I also, I really think, as I said, that you shouldn't judge them off first smell. They are things which. And that's what I love about the maturity of the way she puts together a fragrance. She's not aiming for something for people to spray and judge. She expects people to wear and live with the fragrance and then make their judgment.
And we should mention at this juncture as well that we've smelled all of these on skin. So when we're spraying them on cards now, this is just reminding us of the beautiful tops. But we know and live with these fragrances a lot.
But Francesca Bianchi, she's amazing. I think she's just about to release 2 more, and that's very, very exciting.
I need to buy some of these. I've missed the boat so far.
Next house. So again, someone who's kind of self-taught, John Bieber from January Scent Project. The one I've got here is Vapore Cintro. We did a video of 3 of their fragrances, which
Smolder Rose,
Hydrantla, and Bavuvu. Which were a kind of a study in rose, lavender, and cedar.
Yeah, this very beautiful fragrances.
So he was is a reviewer for Fragrantica, a writer. Yeah. Sorry, I should say a writer for Fragrantica. He's also an amazing artist. He does all the artwork.
And you get little cards with each.
Yeah, beautiful little postcards. But his fragrances smell absolutely unlike anything else at all.
Yeah, there's no reference for these.
We were just talking about this when we were trying to kind of pin it down. This is it's kind of floral. There's a big appley vibe as well.
Yeah.
It feels like spring, but it kind of smells actually like spring. It doesn't smell like a perfume version of spring.
No, and it's not like mossy, grassy or anything. It's far brighter. It's far more heady.
It's weird if you look at the ingredients. They sound very like a kind of traditional notes list, but the effect doesn't feel like a perfume. It's more of a literal kind of olfactory experience of walking through a spring garden.
Like apple, pear, some sort of linden blossom or something going on in there as well.
And the same with that. I mean, Smolder Rose is this bizarre combination of rose and shellfish.
Yeah, who would have thought that?
You've got cedarwood and mushroom. I mean, lots of really, really interesting things going on.
But they're earthy and beautifully made as well.
Yes, they are. They feel close to nature, yet but abstract. Really, really interesting.
Kind of, like you say, unperfumy.
Yeah, they make me think a lot. Right, next.
What's next?
Love this house. This is a really good house.
Look,
this is.
I'm handing it to you slowly.
Okay.
Because the weight
this is a
juice.
British house. Okay, I was just going to say. So this is the house of Papillon.
Yeah, Papillon.
At the bottom we've got here is Anubis. So we've talked a lot about Tobacco Rose, which we both really love. I've got to say, there are some houses about which, when I know they're releasing a new fragrance, I get excited. And I know Liz Moore of Papillon has been talking about releasing a new fragrance.
It's coming, isn't it?
And I've seen the notes list, and I'm so excited.
Please, I look on her website most days to see if it's come up.
But oh, this is such good fragrance.
Should we give this a spritz?
Her fragrances are so mature. I don't mean mature in that they're there for the older wearer. What I mean is mature in that she's
so well crafted.
She doesn't just go for a punchy front top notes. She's got. I feel it's so thought through, and again, it's aiming for somebody who likes to wear fragrance for the whole day.
Yeah.
And I kind of stand by my statement I made about this ages ago. This is a kind of a thinking person's Tuscan leather.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot more photorealistic leather as well, isn't it? It's
but also
saddle.
It's something which just sits with you and lives with you. And she seems to take a lot of time with her releases. She's not churning out 20 a year. You know, it's one a year. If that's
it's a small staple of things that she's clearly very proud of, and that we're very proud of.
And everything's the way everything is priced. Yeah, all of her fragrances are priced slightly differently based on ingredients.
I think this was about 120 something, which seems like a bargain. I mean, 50 ml of something, which I think, by the way, is
if that
may as well be an extra.
If that was in a Xerjoff bottle, you know, you'd be charging 4 times the price, and nobody would bat an eyelid. But it's really.
And great. Also, we've not talked about it on this video, and I've still to buy a bottle because I want to complete the little trilogy that I have in my head of Zalame, Anubis, Tobacco Rose.
Yeah.
But Zalame, my God,
it's absolutely.
I mean, if you think Maya is animalistic, Zalame is another level of special. It's so fantastic.
Sex on your face.
It really is. It's a sexy.
Right.
Face.
Next is a house that we both love, and we loved so much. We actually went on holiday.
We went all the way there.
We went to Rome in order to experience this house to go to the shop. This is the house of Profumum Roma. This is a very good example of a house which is quite expensive. So in the UK, these are now quite expensive to buy. They're
220.
About £220 for 100 ml. When we were in Rome, they were
100 ml though. We should point that out as well. That's a lot of juice.
Yeah, we should. But if you are in Italy, they are a lot cheaper there. But when I was in Sicily recently, they had them for 165 euros. But 100 ml, I mean, they are X-ray strength. They are extraordinarily strong.
You get a lot
the
of
one I've got here is Ambra Aurea, which I would say is amongst the, if not the longest lasting fragrance I own. If you get it on skin, it will last well over a day. If you have it on clothes, it lasts for weeks and weeks. The quality is absolutely extraordinary.
And can you see it on there? I don't know if there's any evidence of it, but it actually gets sticky in the cap, doesn't it? Because the concentration in there is so incredible.
Occasionally these tend to not develop enormously, but the quality is so high. They smell so good, and
if you like it on first sniff, you're just going to get 24 hours of that initial.
I mean, if you love amber, check out this. If you love kind of piney incense, Arso is incredible. Rosa Mundi is really great. The patchouli from them, I think is the best patchouli scent I've ever smelled.
And I'm coming around to the idea now of Fumidus, which is this peaty Lefroy,
which is like having a really like kind of smoky peaty.
They didn't have it in Chavoy when I went there recently, which was a shame.
But amazing.
I wish you could smell this, and it's so smoky as well.
It's amazing. And actually, when I try
sweetness and the smokiness,
so much ambergris as well. That's salty.
Right.
Next is our ninth choice is 3 houses. And it's
four. No, three.
Three. So we are. If we think about, if we talk about, so it's the perfumer.
The perfumer is the common
Prin Lomos and his 3 houses.
We love this guy
so we've
so
got
much.
Prin Parfum, we have Strangers, and Prisana. These, when we first smelt these, we were bowled.
My God.
Absolutely bowled over them.
It was in the summer, wasn't it, last year?
And we keep trying them. And actually, just a moment ago, we were just trying a few others, and we were just saying, they just knock us, absolutely knock us for 6. The quality is absolutely incredible. I don't know what he does and how he does it. One of the other things,
he clearly knows our taste as well.
I think he's got similar taste to us, but his notes lists are sometimes enormous, but yet the fragrances, we were just saying they feel kind of almost 3D, like it's one massive block.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel like you've got lots of competing elements, like now I get this, now I get the incense, now I get the jasmine.
There's no sense of the chaos that you can get with some fragrances.
It's so beautifully composed, and it feels as one. So there are 3 houses which are slightly different prices. So Prasanna, this is just a tester, is the slightly more expensive. Prin is the kind of the medium, and Strangers. They have a new bottle design. We have done a whole video about some of the Strangers LGBTQ releases. They are a little bit cheaper and a little bit more light-hearted in nature.
Yeah, they're maybe more mass appealing, but I would say in no way sort of safe. You know, they're still cutting edge. Burning Ben, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classic sort of dark. Bold,
the one I've got here is Roserière. From Prin Parfum, which is a portmanteau of Rose and Guerrière, which means kind of Rose warrior, and is inspired by the life of Joan of Arc. And so it's supposed to be this kind of conflict between bright, beautiful rose and incense and spice. And it's
really staggering.
If you love Portrait of a Lady, but maybe you wanted something a tiny bit more, kind of slightly more masculine, kind of punchy, this is a really good one to check out. But I just
so elegant as well.
Whatever he does next, I mean, Prin is an absolute genius.
Yeah. He really is, isn't he? I mean, it seems from our sort of very limited knowing him, he seems like he's quite a reserved and thoughtful kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's not loud and bolshy in any way. Yeah. He just sort of sits there and comes up with these absolute wonders.
But it's interesting. But some of his fragrances, especially, so he studied film. And some of, for instance, the Strangers, some of the new releases, which are based on film, have this big punchy personality.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the Prin ones, for instance, I don't know, you feel they're much more considered.
Yeah.
Anyway, Prin, really Prasanna and Strangers, I mean, they're just absolutely nuts.
Check them out.
Right, last one. You may have noticed we're doing this in alphabetical order. Do you notice that?
I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
Well, because we started with
A, B, C, D, G, F, Z, Y, H, K.
Yeah. What? So we have got to Z straight.
What's Z going to be? Can anyone guess? Clue, it's not Xerjoff, because that's an X.
So this is.
I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, thank you very much. So that's very kind.
Enjoy that delicious thing.
This is a bottle which Joe has only recently unwrapped the cellophane off.
Today I've unwrapped the cellophane.
This is from Zoologist. This is Dodo, and we were saying. Zoologist is just a house which just sums up everything we love, and what Victor Wong is doing is incredible. He's got such a great idea of going with animals, and now he's going with extinct animals as well, Dodo and T-Rex, and really toying with planting an idea in the smellers, in the consumers ahead. So that's great, but also the fact he seems to be hand-picking some of just the best, the most exciting, the greatest upcoming perfumers in the world, and curating this collection. I noticed Sarah McCartney mentioned that zoologists are now in the Osmotheque, some of them.
Oh, really?
So they've now found their place in history.
That's amazing.
And I really think, if you had to sum up the kind of olfactory zeitgeist of what kind of was happening at the moment, zoologists really do
right
that.
There.
And so you don't need to think, I've tried that one, therefore I won't like that one, because they're all different perfumes.
Yeah.
So
it's a similar. I mean, I think it's a more cutting-edge version of what Frederick Malle was doing.
Yes.
Sort of acting as editor and overseer of all of these people. Yeah. But they've got this incredible and limitless potential.
Yeah.
Of every animal under the sun, and this thing is quite a It's quite an unconventional fougere. Yeah.
We might devote a whole video to
this. We should really do. I mean, I will say this. First time I smelt it, I thought, okay, that's safer than I expected.
We both smelt it in bloom.
Yeah.
And
I've done a full 360. I mean, I've got it on my arm. I'm going to remove my jacket.
Yeah.
Because I sprayed some of this earlier. It's right there, and it's still.
It's much more animatic. It's got more body and complexity to it than you. I think we may need to give a full video to this.
More animatic than it first seems.
But certainly for any lovers of interesting fragrance, check out.
Yeah, really give it a try.
Now I know there are. This is a list of 10. So there are houses. You know, we could have included.
Yeah, lots of good houses.
Imaginary authors we like.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go into lots of other houses, but if we had to tell you, newfound fragrance enthusiast, 10 houses to try. Yeah. These are those 10.
This is where we are at the moment, isn't it? In our sort of.
Now there is one gaping omission. You may have noticed
it's a big omission.
That all of these houses fall into the category of niche.
Yeah.
Which is
all pretty new as well.
Yeah, and all pretty new. And there's always this great big designer niche conversation. But there's one house which doesn't really fit into it. One of our favourite houses, which I think if you've got any interest in fragrance, it's a house you have to explore, and that is Guerlain.
Absolutely wonderful house.
I mean, I guess it's difficult because a lot of the old fragrances don't smell as they used to. But even if you buy a modern version of Mitsuku or Jiki, you're still smelling a little bit of history.
Yeah. And you really are in for a treat with any of those.
And I would say, especially to male viewers, if you look at Shalimar, Le Bleu, Mitsuku, or Samsara, and you say, "Oh, well, it says it's for women," I mean, ignore because you really.
And they divide them up. It doesn't help. They divide them up on the counters into the masculines over here. Abbey Rouge, love it. Vetiver, Heritage, and over here, Shalimar, Mitsuku.
Yeah.
I would start with the Shalimar and Mitsuku any day of the week.
Yeah.
And then you've got the sort of the newer stuff, the reissues of things like Derby, Lupin.
Yeah.
If you like your vanilla-y, almondy things, Tonka Imperial, Cuir Beluga, Spiritus Double Vanille, the list goes on and on. And these wonderful encens thing they have now. Oud Eternal, Amber Eternal. I mean, they're constantly innovating.
But I really, especially if you're starting your journey, or even if you've already started and haven't yet visited Guerlain,
you really check them out.
I think you have to visit Guerlain. But here are 10 houses. We
love at the moment.
We had to narrow it down to 10 plus one big one. So let us know. I'm sure there are going to be lots of people who are going to comment saying, "Oh, we could have mentioned this." Kerosene. There are lots of other good houses, but our top 10, if you will, houses to try were here.
Tell us of others. I mean, there might be some that we've never heard of. And what are we going to do? We're going to get straight online. We're going to research them.
Get stuck in.
We'll smell them and see what we find.
So let us know what you think. Until next time. Happy sniffing!
Bye!